Are you saying you could tell the difference between me and a robot, or no?
Look,
do the floggers have any of the
I've read
context?
your book, and I'm not sure who wrote it. I don't know if it's ChatGPT or you.
Yeah.
Or a ghostwriter. Like
Handbot.
a ghost who writes. Not another guy
Okay.
writing for you.
Yeah. He stole the manuscript and killed the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he stole his story as well. That guy actually went to prison.
Yeah, it's like Principal Skinner in The Simpsons.
Absolutely. And then we just prefer Hammer to that guy.
I'm a Tazarian.
I'm a real crook, baby.
I'm a real crook.
I'm a real crim. Don't deny it. I've just had to
That's
go.
what heaps of real criminals say.
Yeah.
I've had to bend over backwards to get into New Zealand.
Hammer learned how to be a crook from 1950s black and white films.
I'm a crook, baby.
crook.
You see? Hey, now give me the Tommy gun.
That was actually you doing your first accent. Well done. That was pretty good.
Hammer's done more accents, hasn't
No, it's animal noises. That's all he's got.
Or Asian accents.
Asian
He does
accent.
quite a few Japanese accents.
That's mostly while he's driving. It's very rarely on the pod. He needs stimulus.
Is he doing an impression of a Japanese person while he's driving?
No, I think he's just got to spit. He does the Google Maps in that accent. He prefers it. Don't do it. I saw the eyes light up and I'm like, no.
I did get rear-ended recently.
Nice.
In my-
What was his name?
Yeah.
Lads.
Hey, welcome to Flog Cabin.
The cabin is not grown. The immaturity is ripe.
Victoria Road,
Yes.
morning,
Yes.
rear-ended
Mm-hmm.
by a guy who I think was looking at his phone and just kind of like rolled forward. But it hit me with quite a little bit of a jolt.
So wait, is it kind of you're in, cars are backed up, he thinks it's green, but it hasn't gone green, he's just kind of rolled into the front of you?
That, or like he was looking at his phone and didn't realize he didn't have enough pressure on the brake.
Right,
or
sure.
just something, but
He was distracted.
Yes.
Looking at his phone.
yes.
Maybe watching videos of you.
I was going to say, what a great person to run into.
Possibly.
Oh,
Hammer's like, we've all been there, brother. Let me tell you what happened in the shower the other day. I looked straight into the glass. Distracted by the phone. Yeah, so what happened? Did you confront?
Put the hazards on, got out, did the like, the what's up, brother? We're doing this? No. No, I just got out and took some photos because the cars were still touching, but then he like
Were there fans there? Just got out, take some photos, doing selfies. Sure, brother, get a photo.
Can I get a photo with you for insurance purposes?
Can I get a photo? Sure, man. Love to meet a fan. Yeah, man. Flog Cabin. What are you into?
The OGs.
The OGs.
Obviously. No, they like his stand-up.
Yeah. Everyone loves the stand-up.
That's the silliest answer.
If only that was the answer. It's never that.
Let me tell you, for me, it's only ever been that.
They love the
They
stand-up.
like the stand-up. They don't like the podcast. They don't like me as a person.
People didn't like your 2021 Olympic sketches. They weren't into that.
That was bad stuff. I think there should
Have I
just be
seen these?
They weren't into your 20.
I think there should just be a moratorium or whatever you did during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Content-wise, you can't bring it up.
So we were going to
I
talk
thought
about
you
your
were gonna say-
2020 weekend update style sketches that I wrote for, by the way. If you
It's
recall.
true. You did a few, yeah.
I got to see these lame sketches.
No, you don't.
You should. You can skip them. But yeah, I really feel like there should be a moratorium. Like for real. It's
Yeah.
just like
On all things
like
that
whenever
happened during 2021?
No. I think just as a comedian, if you put out any kind of sketch or like online content during that time, it's like, like whatever happened during the war just happened.
Yeah, okay.
And
does
just
it,
trying to get by.
Yeah.
and does it
I was
apply?
just trying to stay alive. Yeah.
Does it apply in both directions, both successful and unsuccessful?
Absolutely.
Really sorry to tell you this, Will Gibb, but you're out. I'm sorry. We're going to have to take back all those followers. They don't count.
People just didn't have a lot to do.
Yeah.
There weren't other options there. But yeah, no, I agree. I think that. Because I feel like there was like an inflation during COVID for like...
Oh, it was a gold rush.
Yeah, people being like, there's just literally nothing to do. And I say this as someone who, performed to many, many, many people on Zoom.
Yes.
Like an extraordinary amount.
But that seemed to be good. That seemed to go well.
Moratorium.
Oh, but so that doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
You never met Bill Burr.
Never.
No.
Damn it. This moratorium cuts both ways.
Yeah.
But I'm still embarrassed enough about the Olympic sketches that I'm happy to rule out Bill Burr.
Did you have Jim Jeffries do one, or did I make that up?
No, he did. He popped into the running joke one time. Okay. He headlined that. Secret. And then, but yeah, the online stuff was Bill Burr, Mike Birbiglia, Sam Morril, Todd Barry. They were the main ones.
And Pete Holmes? Did you meet Pete Holmes?
And Pete Holmes, yeah. He was backstage.
Backstage.
Wow. These guys,
In the green room, brother. You should have seen it.
these guys really had nothing to do if they were doing the running joke.
They weren't doing the running joke. They were doing the Nowhere Comedy Club, which is the one that Hofstadter ran.
Okay.
I'm still not sure how that worked in terms of me working. Because I was in Australia, but it was absolutely an American company.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I have no idea.
You need a visa for the internet.
I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know. But you got a visa, Hamo.
But anyway, but you're going to tell your traffic, you're getting hit story?
Oh, so
you were about to reveal the race, I believe.
I was
Of the car.
Korean.
Japanese cars, you know what they say?
I know it's very predictable of me to do that, but this time, ethnicity unspecified.
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 Which means it
We all
doesn't fit
know
type.
what it
I don't think you know what non-binary means.
We all know the answer here, but I'm not going to say it out loud. So, anyway, this Chinese guy rolls back, and there's a gap there.
I wasn't paying attention to the Chinese guy. That's funny.
and the car was unscathed.
Yes.
Like he just had like bumped into the bumper. It gave a jolt, but there was actually no damage to the car. Mm. And so I was like, "Well, what do you do here?" Mm. So I just took some photos. It might have been the tiniest little incy bit of a scratch, but like not enough to really care about on a Holden Cruise. It's already got a bunch of scratches already on it.
Yeah.
How do you spell cruise in Holden Cruise?
Cruze.
With an E. I thought it was just UZ, but okay. Cruise.
Cruise.
So much eye contact.
There's so
Keep
much
telling
eye
the story.
contact. I was like, are they going to kiss?
Cruze.
I really didn't like that.
Not a Cruise. It's
Yeah.
a masculine car.
It is.
It's a red car.
Yeah,
It goes faster. But
So what, just a scratch, nothing worth pressing claim?
So anyway, we exchanged numbers, and I said, "Look, it's my dad's car. He's away for a week. I'm gonna have to check with him whether or not like he's bothered by this tiny little scratch or not."
Is he running for Pope?
Canvassing.
That's where he's
He's going all over the Vatican.
Him
A lot of travel.
Him and
He's got the call flute boards. Vote one.
Flying.
Him and Pizza Baller.
Show
were
you a
close,
democracy
but
sausage.
Dude, Pizza Baller. Yeah, your boy didn't get up.
Pizza Baller didn't get up. No, we got a bloody American. I don't think an American one was in the top 5 or 6 odds. That was a dark horse.
Well, who was it? Someone posted in a group chat recently. Oh, no, a mate of mine. He bet on the new Pope and he won like £2,000 or something because he bet at 49 to 1 odds.
That's good odds.
Yeah.
It's very good. Does the church take 10% as a tithe?
I hope so. Yeah.
Wow. So, yes, no harm, no foul. I got the guy's number and then I just said, don't worry about it. So,
Did you give him a call anyway?
Well.
Hey, man, just wanted to check in.
I said, next time, if I hear about you causing any more driving accidents, you're fucking dead.
Sounds like a bit much, to be honest, because he's got your number too.
Yeah.
You stupid fuck. Nah, he seemed like a nice guy. So anyway.
You get hit by another Chinese guy. It's like, I thought I told you.
Well, Josh, good to see you again.
No, I'll leave that in. I'm happy with it.
The cabin is cooking early in the morning.
I didn't think the earlier we recorded we'd be more racist. I thought, if anything, we'd be on our best behavior.
Now we're on Beijing time.
Oh, brother, we're always on Beijing time. Do you know that Perth's on Beijing time?
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I was doing some joke about that. They're like, you know, we're in the same time zone. And
Yeah,
I was like,
right.
I didn't. Perth, shut up.
What's with the Adelaide half-hour time zone?
I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. But I think the Brisbane-Sydney one is more baffling.
Oh, the
During
lack
summer,
of daylight savings.
Brisbane's an hour behind
Yeah.
Sydney. So that means New Year's Eve, Brisbane celebrates an hour behind. I remember I was doing gigs at Woodford.
Oh.
And like Queensland celebrate. So everyone's like, Happy New Year's. And I'm like, not yet.
So they just don't do daylight savings. Is that right?
Correct. Because it's an agricultural thing. That's how it's always been explained to me.
Yes. No more questions. No
Yeah.
more details. Just the farmers, you know.
Like
That's it.
we had Simon Taylor on like the magic, like magnets.
Yeah.
It's just like no further clarification. Magnets. Well, that's a old Pete Holmes joke.
Yes.
I'm who I met. Can't tell you when.
No, you didn't.
Never met him.
Doesn't count.
Damn it. Imagine losing your virginity during COVID. Like, fellas, come on, it counts. Sorry, dude, people were desperate. They're just trying to fill a hole. What was I going to say? The Pope. Can we get to the American Pope? Because I've been trying to talk about this on stage. Of like, it just doesn't seem right. There's an American Pope, and everyone's fine with it.
Do you think so?
All the audiences that I've asked thus far have been completely nonplussed by the American Pope.
Are they just indifferent to any kind of pope?
Maybe.
What would be the weirdest kind of pope? You can never have an Australian pope.
A Tibetan Pope?
Tibetan Pope.
Dalai Lama Pope? Like, is a dual national?
Yeah, what? He's going for both titles, like a WWE superstar.
No, like Elise Perry playing both sports.
The American Pope, is it because he's kind of like, he's American, but he's not that American? Like what is he? Spent a lot of time in Argentina with the poor. He's not just hanging out in the US
Peru.
with fatties.
I learned this last night.
Yeah.
It was in Peru for a long time because
Okay,
they were like, he spent a lot of time in Peru. He's a very modest guy, and I'm like, oh yeah, South America, very modest culture.
That's true.
That's what I think about South America. Just a quiet people.
Peruvians might be.
Who knows?
Yeah. Well, that's the fact we haven't heard speaks volumes.
Hey, all right, any Peruvian floggers, write in, let us know. Are you modest?
Yeah. Come and brag about your modesty.
Yeah, because I mean, who do you guys picture when you picture a South American? Like, if you just say South American, for me, it's Brazil.
Brazil.
I think Brazil is the reigning champ.
Shirt off, board shorts, juggling a football.
Gigantic Jesus on the hill. Yeah. So I'm just like, these aren't modest people. Look at the size of that Jesus.
I'm a big Newcastle United football fan. We got a couple of very prominent Brazilian players, and fuck, they hate Argentinians. It's so great. Every time they play against an Argentinian, you're guaranteed to get like a little bit of push and shove.
Really? Just
Yeah.
it runs deep?
Yeah, one of them was going back and forth with against Chelsea, Enzo Fernandez, who's a Argentinian player, and the Bruno Guimaraes, Newcastle captain, scored a goal and then blew him a kiss. It was the best. So good.
It still sounds very lame in soccer to be like, these guys hate each other. There might be a little bit of push and shove.
That's as far as you can go. You touch his face, he's hitting the ground for sure.
Even anywhere near his face.
Yeah.
The one thing with the football though, like the hacking, like they just hack you in like kind of within the rule, like, you know what I mean? It is. I actually find it's niggler,
Yeah.
which is one of those words you got to pronounce absolutely correctly, but it is niggler than. Nope, I nailed it twice. I'm not counting my blessings on that one. But yeah, just like the level of niggle again, navigated it in football. I feel is much higher than other sports because you can just there's outward aggression. So like AFL, someone's giving you shit, you just give them a hip and shoulder, you put them down, and like that's kind of it. Whereas
Yeah.
I think with like the football thing, it just kind of escalates throughout the match. It's dirtier.
Yeah, well, football has. Yeah, I agree. You can get away with a lot, and if you just clip the legs in the right way, it probably hurts quite a lot, and it's just a foul and no more repercussions. But football has a weird relationship of like what you can get away with to another player versus what you can get away with the referee. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can kind of crowd the referee, get up in their face, but if you touch another football player, you can get red carded.
Well, the thing with the ref though is I remember this when I played. Like I got sent off one time for swearing at the referee.
Oh, really?
So like you can kind of be like, "What are you doing, sir?" Straight red.
Yeah, right.
Because like I was chasing a ball, like kind of put out in front, and the other guy kicked it. Like the defender kicked it into my face. The ball kept going, so I kept chasing it, and the ref called handball on me. And I was like, "It hit me in the face, you fucking idiot!" Straight red off the field. End
Like
of that. And I was like, "But the other guys complain all the time. Sir, come on, sir, please, sir." Like
Yes.
it's kind of like private school rules, you know?
Yeah.
You can't swear at a teacher, but you can say, "Please, sir," like 17 different times.
Yes, that's true.
Especially if you're Italian, you can give it a bit of that. You know? That was hand gestures for anyone on the audio medium.
Oh, you got to get onto the YouTube for the hand gestures. You got to get onto the visual element.
You are not going to believe Daniel's Italian impression.
Yeah, what do Australians do? I can't even think about it.
I can't even picture it.
I think I'd get too annoyed at someone being niggly with me for like a good 45 minutes that I would just hit him.
Well, this is the thing. And like, that's why, and the thing, like the other football bit is because within the rules, you can't really hurt anybody. So you got those Roy Keane scenarios where it's just some guy injures you and then you play a game like 3 years later.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, I'm just going to break your leg and get the red card. And like, that's just the end of it.
That's like in baseball when pitchers hit batters. Again, months after the first incident because their pitcher hit your batter. And they're like, well, this guy's coming up to bat and he's definitely going to get hit right now. Yeah. Everyone's ready for it.
And the batsman's ready, like the whole bullpen's ready to just run in and fight the pitcher.
Yeah, they're in the dugout stretching their calves, like getting ready to run on.
Yeah, I reckon out of every sport in the world, baseball, the best entrances to a fight. You know, like worst fights, like fuck all happens most of the time, but the whole team runs into the middle.
Yeah.
Like it's like wrestling, you know, just like, oh, he's headed to the ring.
The fact that they even have a term for it, clear the bench.
Yeah, clear the bench.
So sick.
Straight in.
Yeah.
Let me throw this at you.
Please.
So
Like a baseball
I'm going
pitcher.
to 2 sporting events this week.
Yes.
I'm going to watch Harry Garside fight tonight at the Horton Pavilion. which will be exciting.
Your number one fan, Harry Garside.
I've got a Team Garside shirt arriving today, I believe.
That's exciting. Is he sponsored by Flog Cabin?
I wish. We're going to get him in the cabin one day, depending on whether he wins tonight.
Harry, if you want to win.
No, it's because if he loses, he will have no better options. If he wins, we're fucked.
If he wins, he's going to we got the chocolates. Damn it.
Team Harry. And then I'm going to the Waratahs Crusaders game on Friday because I heard a rumour recently that rugby is back.
A rumour?
And at which old boys meeting did you hear that?
I heard I was on the piss.
Was it in your dad's chain email?
I was on the piss.
You keep this to your fucking self, you dog.
But rugby's back.
Oh,
bro.
Shut the fuck
You're not going to believe it, but rugby's back. I don't think it ever left.
All right, get in, mate. Have a good night.
I was on the piss in Manly, and a guy was watching on his mobile phone a live stream of a Brumbies game. And I was like, what the fuck gives about Super Rugby anymore? And he was like, didn't you hear? Rugby's back.
This sounds like an advertising campaign.
So anyway, my mate Banny, who lives in Wollongong, one of my best mates since I was about, 13 years old.
We've all met Banny, haven't we?
Yep. You've had
He was
beers,
only for
Banny.
Flog Bowl 1.
Flog Bowl 1.
He was there the whole time.
Is the Wollongong guy?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you met him when I did my Wollongong show. So he's coming down and we're going to get pissed for 2 days and we're going to go to the rugby. But I got these tickets called the Legends Lounge.
Oh, man. You're going to fit right in.
Because I was like, this fucking speaks to me.
I think when they were pitching that idea as a ticketing type, Hammo's face was on the whiteboard. Being like, there's going to be guys like this who want to be called legends and are happy to pay for it.
They're expensive tickets.
Yeah, I know they are, dickhead. And I'm sure they've got heaps of perks, which they don't.
No.
You can get Crown Lager in a bottle
I assumed that it
for just $14.
You fucking
I
legend.
assumed it came with like...
Congrats, mate.
There's no lounge. You don't need one. You're a legend. Stand up.
So I thought, considering the price of the ticket, I was like, maybe the lounge is just like you get free piss in there. No, absolutely not. You're going to pay for your drinks. I think there may be some roaming
I'm
canapes.
so right.
There may be. Hold on. There may be some roaming canapes.
Sure.
And Batty just sent me a message to say that he just read that the Waratahs enter the field via the Legends Lounge. They go through it to enter the field.
Wonder how much they had to pay.
So here's the thing. I'm so out of touch with Super Rugby, I couldn't name a single player in the Waratahs team anymore. So I was like, but I still want to support them. Is it okay in the way like when your footy club run out in the field just to give a few of them the supportive bum slap?
I think back at best.
Back?
High five? I think put the arm up.
Oh, on the way out. If you're a child.
Is that a child thing?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe you can do that thing where you can hold one of their hands as they walk out. You can be the Waratahs mascot.
Just like all these small children and Hammer.
And we're like to celebrate
He actually paid for the Little Legends ticket.
Oh, damn it, I wanted Little Legends. I was mid Little Legends riff, and it was taken from there. Hammer gets a call this week from the SFS being like, you're not going to believe this, Hammer. You qualify for the sick cunt upgrade for $1,200.
And if you purchase 6 sick cunt upgrades, you can get the Mad Dog package.
As long as I get a photo with Tarman, the greatest mascot in Super Rugby.
Fucking hate Tarman.
That sounds like a slur. There's fucking Tarman out there. What the hell's going on?
Have you seen that guy?
I've not seen Tar. I didn't realize they had a mascot. I thought that was a bit too league for them. Our mascot is actually Deloitte.
It's like Duffman essentially, but he's just got a few more blue colours on him.
Is he a Waratah? Is that what he is? Like, is he a flower? A man dressed as a flower?
No, he's like a superhero. He's like Superman, but he's
it's seriously like Duffman, but he's a Waratah.
Sucks so hard.
It's really bad. Does he still exist?
I don't know. I imagine so.
Yeah,
Because
the kind of thing you'd want to get rid of.
it's just the Waratahs. It's just like, we can't have a bloke dressed as a flower.
Yeah.
Fucking rugby.
Well, no,
It's not the 11th of November. Like,
Yeah.
we just need a bloke who's a man, just a mad dog.
Just Tarman.
Tar man. A man who's a tar. I love that War Man was right there.
War Man.
Yeah, Waratah. War Man. Actually, that sounds a lot like War Man. It's just some chick.
The New South Wales.
There won't be any of those in the game.
Some chick who went to Loretto. When she was at uni, she lived in Paddington. Dad paid the rent.
Yeah, yeah.
Classic. I've met him.
So anyway, I will report back on the Legends Lounge and whether it was worth the money.
We got Hamo live in the Legends Lounge being like, the beer's actually pretty expensive. Just back to you in the studio, boys.
Just to be clear, was the guy watching the rugby on his phone, was he the one who sold you the Legends Lounge? He's like, hey man, just scan this QR code on my back.
It's with a discount.
Hey man, I heard rugby's back and it's just George Gregan with a wink. Rugby's back. Everyone's whispering it to each other.
Rugby is not back.
It's never going to come
never
back.
coming back.
Dude, Channel 9 just bought the rights and there was like a headline being like, 9 excited to buy the TV rights during the golden age of rugby. And I'm like, cute.
What, 25 years ago?
You know, I am an extremely influential person. Maybe me going there and seeing me that I'm getting around rugby saying it's back is enough for me to get that long coveted ARU deal.
You reckon?
That'd be so funny. Like rugby's like, I think it must have been Andrew Hamilton because we've got more Nepalese fans than ever before. Typically not a huge rugby fan base, the Nepalese, but Hamo's pumped for it.
Just halftime at the Waratahs, it's Andrew and Tarman doing a don't laugh challenge. You can't tell he's laughing, he's got a head on.
He's just flexing.
And you're pissing yourself.
Laughing so hard. Tom, man, you got me again, brother. Oh man, rugby is back. The fact that you heard that in Manly,
And it was a rumor.
unsubstantiated.
So I'm excited.
You
Yeah.
seem it for the Legends package. That is, look, it's great.
Now that I'm a public figure, I feel like I am drawn to be at more sporting events to just show the fellas and I get around this stuff. I was supposed to go to Meat Stock on Sunday.
You didn't go?
No, well, I forgot it was Mother's Day.
Oh.
You didn't take your mum to meat stock?
She didn't want to go.
Mothers
So-
love stock.
Look, you're not going to like the meat, but you're going to love the stock.
Can I grab these bones? Don't put them to waste.
Yeah.
Make a
all right,
broth.
mate.
Where's the cube stand? So you skip meat stock for Mother's Day.
Skip
That's
Meat
sweet.
Stock.
So you didn't buy a ticket?
Well, I could see that it wasn't going to sell out, so I thought I was just going to show up on the day, but
Yeah, right.
So, no big
You're
deal.
tracking Meat Stock's ticket sales?
yeah. Well,
How do I sell compared to Meat Stock? How's Meat Stock going for followers right now?
you know that trick where I try and buy all the tickets and see how many are left? I'm just doing that with
Yeah,
Meat
I
Stock.
do that.
Yeah, Chris Ryan's looking great this weekend, by the way. Very close to wondering. You want to see previous guest Simon Taylor? He's only got 3 tickets left.
Have you been checking?
Oh, yeah. I'm like, why?
It's the creepiest thing, just for anyone who's like just not as inside this. So ticketing websites will allow you to buy the number of tickets that are available, sometimes capped at 10, so it
Yeah.
can be misleading. So as a comedian who might not have access to the ticket sales, you can go check how many tickets you have left by seeing if there's more than 10 available. For Sydney Comedy Festival, it's up to 50.
Yeah.
So you can actually, find out quite accurately.
Yeah.
But Andrew Hamilton, being the psycho with the spreadsheet that he is, will also do this to other people.
Yeah. So so when I asked Red Richardson to put me on the door of his show, I said, Red, can you put me on the door because you're close to selling out? And he was like, how do you know?
Dude, that was so funny because I messaged Red being like, hey, look, and he's like, Hamo says I'm close to selling out.
He was like, how the fuck do you know my sales? And I was like, because I've been watching.
I've been keeping an eye on this. Love that Hamo's checking the ticket sales for the Waratahs game. Turns out rugby's not back. There are tickets available. They're not doing as well as Chris Ryan.
If you guys know minimum 50 people, I can get them into the Legends Lounge.
What if it's just me and Banny in the Legends Lounge? Nah, there's a couple of, there's rusted on rich boys, with their
Yeah, I've already covered that you and Banny are going to be there. Who else is hanging out?
Do I have to wear a collared shirt? I forget. There's always like
Nah.
a dress code.
At the Legends Lounge? I think you have to wear a tank top.
It has to be surely a blue
They provide you with an official Legends Lounge Ralph Lauren polo. Collar permanently popped.
Yeah.
Let's not suggest otherwise. Wait, can we go back to the American Pope?
Sure.
I'd just like to look back.
I think we're trying to be more viral on this podcast. Talking about the American Pope would be good. I have no opinions.
Are we trying to be more viral? Do we
are we?
want that out there?
We need to go viral. We're hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
You should check out ticket sales. No good.
All right, what do you got on the American Pope?
Well, I had a visceral gut reaction, but it's like the Pope is American. I was like, ew,
Yeah.
gross, wrong.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't seem right.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like the Pope should have English first language.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. They should be stumbling through the prayers in a second language. It makes it seem more meaningful.
Yes.
Like God is guiding them through grammar somehow, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and just also like a pope is like an old and mysterious position. America is a new and obvious country. Like there's no kind of subtlety or nuance or like, what are they up to?
Yeah.
Are they going to tell you really loud because they're American? It just feels like commercial.
Yes.
And, you know, the Catholic Church has previously been not commercial at all.
No, yeah, not for profit.
None. Yeah, they hate cash.
I hate it.
But like
And gold.
they hate that. But you don't think
Well, I mean, does that combine with the influence of Trump? Is this like is that a factor?
Go on.
Do you think like an American pope is a good strategic move to like bring back some of their relevance of the Catholic Church
within America?
Well,
that was funny. I've had this conversation where it's just like Trump will be more into the Pope because the Pope is American.
Yeah. Do you think so?
No, I don't think Trump consistently likes or dislikes anybody. I think it's all a whim. You know, I don't think Trump's like, he's an American, he's a great guy. It's like, I don't know if you know this. He's deporting many, many, many Americans right now.
Yeah, he's American, but it's not him.
Yeah, and he speaks a foreign language. Gross.
Yeah.
Unless he's my wife. I don't want him speaking any other languages. I like to think he made Melania unlearn Russian.
Yeah.
No. No, duh. No, none yet. Not in this house. But I don't know. It's just the idea of like in America, it's like, you know, they do like the bread at like the church and it's like got stuffed crust now. You know, like the wine is like a specific red wine, like brought to you by one of the greatest wineries in Napa Valley.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just all commercial. It's like Popemobile by Chrysler. Like, it just, I don't care for it.
Well, I mean, I don't care for any of this at all because I don't feel like, regardless of who's in charge of the Pope Dome,
The Pope Dome?
Pope Dome.
That's what they call the Pope Stadium.
yeah, I was going to say.
the previous three popes have not affected my life in any way at all, regardless of what they do or say. So
But you met the Pope John Paul II.
I met JP too,
Yeah.
and even that, he did a light little cross on my head. Didn't even have much of a chat.
You'll never know what the impact of that was.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you're famous. Maybe
You think
the
I
Pope
was
wished
blessed
it.
by God.
Maybe.
I mean,
Can't rule it out.
Yeah, true.
I was going to say, surely you feel that way based on your general confidence levels.
I think I don't think it's by the Pope. I don't think I'm blessed by God. No, I think I was born in the Legends Lounge.
That's not how that works. You were conceived in the Legends Lounge.
The Ronnie Hamilton Legends Lounge.
That's actually what his parents called their basement cinema.
Find out Tarman was your real father.
Andrew, there's something you should know. Don't you see a resemblance? As him and Tarman is flexing at each other?
I just think like, the Pope gets up, at the Vatican and says, "Hey, we should all like be more patient, and loving with each other." And people don't go, "Oh, I better do that."
Some might. You don't know that.
Well, maybe in Italy where they hear it, but like,
But like it's now it's like an American doing that.
mm.
Hey, y'all gotta love each other. Like, you gotta live a blessed life. Thanks for coming to St. Peter's Basilica. Brought to you by Sparrow's best sauce. I hate it. I just hate it. Like, from the bottom of my heart.
You want to get out and get a fucking slice?
Yeah.
Well, he's from Chicago.
Sorry,
right?
I'm late to the masses today. I was watching Sopranos again. Great series. Great fucking series. Sorry, pardon my French. I know you're Italian. All right, yeah.
Praise be to God. Go Bears.
Go Bears. He was pictured a baseball game. Like the Pope was watching the White Sox.
That was like a decade ago, wasn't it?
I don't care. I still hate it.
What, the Pope isn't allowed to watch sport?
He's supposed to not even have a past.
I think
he's just supposed to appear as the Pope.
I think the Vatican City should have a football team. I think they should be in Serie A. I think it should be VCFC.
VCFC. I don't mind that.
Is he old?
Yeah, oldish. Like
They're always old, aren't they?
They're always old, but because they're in it till death, right? Like you can,
No, you can retire.
but you can, but they don't they?
Benedict retired. The German guy.
But wasn't that like
He had enough.
wasn't that unexpected? Wasn't that a bit of a rogue move?
Yeah.
Was he? But again, was he the one who moved him around? Was he the one that got caught? Was he the spotlight Pope?
I think, man, I think there's a bit of that everywhere. Like, I like the last guy. We did like the last
bit
guy.
of moving pedophiles around everywhere.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Like shuffling cards.
yeah.
Yeah, the deck is stacked. The deck is stacked, brother. It's a high count today. Oh boy. But yeah, no, just genuinely, because I've been trying to have these chats like on stage, like people just seem so indifferent. Whereas like for me, it just immediately when I started to rub me the wrong way, and like I can't conceptualize it. And the way that I've been able to get the point across is I'm like, imagine having an Australian Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also fucked. Like it just feels wrong, right? Certain things are supposed to be certain ways.
So what you would only have what European Pope?
Just not like English first language. Like no North America, no England, like UK, no Australia, no New Zealand, no South Africa, no South Africa.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
I wouldn't
no
stand
South
for
Africa.
that. What about Chinese? Would you like a Chinese Pope?
I don't love that either.
Oh,
No?
there's the clip.
What about an Italian woman?
Almost like that guy hit me.
I recognize the car and everything.
Some good Samaritan. The Pope's getting around in a Holden cruise.
Italian woman worse than American dude?
No, absolutely
You
not.
can't have a female Pope, can you?
Kind of a female priest.
But if we get a more progressive.
Are we? An
Yeah.
American Pope, that's more progressive.
Well, yeah, like they're in favor of the gays now, aren't they?
The popes?
I believe so.
Well, the thing was, because I looked that up because of the clip last week, well, the other episode where we're talking about Francis, and he wasn't pro the gays. He was just
I'm
not against them.
Okay.
So he was just like, hey, maybe they're fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, haven't checked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what I want to know.
Yeah.
All right.
That was kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, hey, they're cool now.
Okay.
I actually gave him too much credit. It is progress.
That's progress.
And he was into condoms and stuff. He was like, that's fine. Use it. You're all good.
Well, all my knowledge of what goes on in there is from watching the movie Conclave.
Yes. Likewise. Yep. Do you watch Conclave?
I haven't seen Conclave.
You gotta see Conclave.
I want to spoil it, but I'm not going to. Big spoil. Big twist. Huge twist. Crazy.
Huge Conclave twist.
Yeah. Only
For a bunch of cardinals just like whispering in corridors, it's actually a pretty good movie.
that is all it is.
What's the big twist? Is one of them use their regular speaking voice?
They're just cardinals in the corridors whispering, "Rugby's back."
Haven't you heard? Sorry, haven't you heard?
The Vatican City, the original Legends Lounge.
Yeah. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That's the back line.
Only 6 of the 266 popes have retired. 98% of popes die in office. In office is a funny way to put it.
Yeah, well, a lot of them, I guess, is part of that 2%, the ones they defenestrate, because they're technically dying out of office,
I don't know what that means.
but they start in the office.
What does the word defenestrate mean? I feel like I
thank
used
you.
to know it, but now I've...
Yeah.
Like they lose their cock and balls?
That's castration.
Great. Love it.
I like that you at least had a go. Tom, would you like to give it a bash? Defenestrate, just while the floggers are yelling the answer.
Any straight in it. STRATE.
So you lose your cock and balls, so you're losing your straightness. Is that how you conjugated that one there, champion?
I don't want to be told about God and what we should be doing by a guy who's got no cock and balls.
Look, any pet owners out there, make sure you defenestrate your cats and dogs. It's the responsible thing to do.
I mean, you said cock and balls. I think your dog's allowed to have a cock.
Not in my house. Sorry, can you use it in a sentence, please? Country of origin?
I assume the country of origin is probably actually the Vatican City.
Pope was defenestrated.
Yeah, that's using it in a sentence.
Defenestrated.
I mean, did you hear they defenestrated the Pope?
What is it like? Is it like demoted? Like they go back to a different? No.
No.
Okay.
It's when you murder someone by throwing them out a window.
What?
Yeah, defenestration.
What? And why do we need a word for that?
Because it was happening that often, Tom.
We can't keep saying throwing out window. We're losing so much time.
Yeah, we've got to elect a new Pope. It keeps happening.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it was a lot of popes and a lot of monarchs were defenestrated at one point in history.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if it was like the spectacle.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it was
mean,
just
surely
like,
if it's happening that much, like, let's have a quick look over at this window. I'm like, nah.
we're going to build you a new cathedral, a lot of natural light. No, not again.
Congratulations.
We've been here before.
You are the new Pope. Could I live on the ground floor? Absolutely not. I'm afraid we're going to put you in the turret.
A turret above a concreted square. Have you guys been Vatican City?
Yes.
I've been.
Yeah. Not for a long time. A lot of crowds. Big crowds.
Big crowds. Yeah, they catch the Pope. The original stage dive.
Yeah. I'm on Ticket Tech. No tickets left.
Yeah.
I've seen enough of it in Angels and Demons.
This is so bizarre. You're like, all I know about the Pope is Conclave and Angels and Demons, Dan Brown novels and Oscar winners. And your dad is in the Catholic Church, correct?
Well, I mean, he's
also been
Catholic.
touched by a Pope. I mean, again, not like that.
Touched by a Pope, the Andrew Hamilton story.
He's actually a really nice guy. All above board, nothing weird. 5 stars.
He touched me gently on the head with his trembling, sweaty hand.
Oh.
Trembling.
No, I don't know.
He's probably just old.
Yes, I did have a Catholic upbringing. And
You went to a Catholic school?
yes, I went to a Catholic
Knox
school.
isn't Catholic. Yeah, neither is Trinity.
Church of England.
And so, yes, what's the point of this? That I should know more about the Vatican?
Yeah. Or care more.
No.
This is your dad's boss we're talking about.
Yeah, dude.
No, I don't care for it.
Okay. Should we do a pilot ad?
Do you think... Sorry, that's just the dumbest shit. Like, you know, like God's everywhere and he hears everything? God listens to every podcast.
That poor God.
Yeah, I know, that poor guy, dude. He must be like, fuck, another one.
He's listening to Joe Rogan and Call Me Daddy. Call her
Simultaneously.
Daddy. Yeah.
We can do a pilot ad. This is what I wrote for Tom.
Oh.
Yeah.
And are you going to also read the AI one or out? Or
Well, it
no?
doesn't make sense because I wrote it from Hammo's perspective. I hadn't quite clocked that it's going to be obvious then, but I'll just save it for another time. Okay. We just in case Hammo hadn't had time to write a pilot ad, I asked ChatGPT to write one for Hammo. I didn't even give it any hints. I was just like, just about the comedian Andrew Hamilton.
Well, why don't we seed this for the floggers? So, in one of the next 4 episodes, the pilot ad will be written by AI, and you need to tell us which one it is.
Pick which one, and what do they get if they win?
Our
Tick to the Legends Lounge.
You get to be touched by a pope. Not this one, Benedict. He's got a lot of free time now. Do you reckon like when the Pope retires, it's kind of like the president, where he's still Pope Benedict?
I was about to ask that.
Oh, does he retain his title?
We had the same thought.
Mr. Pope.
I had to get more sleep. I find it funny. It's presidents and boxers. If you win the title one time, you're still champ. Forever.
Champ.
Even though you lost at the end.
Because he doesn't apply to prime ministers, does it?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd. But it's President Bush forever.
Mr. President.
Right, Mr. President. Okay. Cool. Give me the pilot ad.
All right. Now, I did this early this morning.
Great.
And I don't know if it's any good, but...
All right.
I mean, yeah, because otherwise they've all been quality.
Okay, so this is a pilot ad written by Hammo for
Flog
me.
Cabin, sponsored by Pilot Men's Health. Every episode we write a pilot ad for each other to read out. Hammer's written one for Tom. Tom, take it away.
G'day, floggers. My cock used to be as hard as an election for the Liberal Party. The giant sluts used to call my cock Albanese because they loved to be easy under Albanese. But lately, I've been feeling down. I'm about as horny as a trumpet of patriots, and I've been having trouble being a good Susan Lay. What I mean by that is I am no longer performing in the bedroom because of my small and flaccid penis. But thanks to Pilot, my cock is getting known as Mr. Speaker because it's back to calling order. That's right. I've got a rock hard pocock, and I'm feeling independent again. My blossoms are blooming, and so can yours. Go to pilot.com.au and use promo code FLOGS20 for $20 off your first order. Pilot, hard-made Albanese. I mean easy. Very good.
Jesus Christ. My pocock. Rugby's back.
Rugby's back.
Rugby's back in the Senate. He got re-elected.
Yeah.
He did, didn't he?
I think so.
Pocock. I think he got re-elected.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did. So there we go.
That was... Look... I liked it all, probably apart from giant sluts. That was just...
Well, it seemed unnecessary.
Yeah, why did that happen?
Yeah.
What's that in there? An otherwise
They're easy
political...
under Albanese. Yeah, but they're giant sluts. Jesus Christ. Keep up with the narrative. Anyway. So I've gone to New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
And this was approved.
You'll both go to New Zealand, are you? Soon?
Mine isn't announced.
Oh.
Yeah, well.
Forget everything you heard about Dan going to New
Dan will
Zealand.
never
Forget
be
everything you know about New Zealand.
I had to apply for something called a...
New Zealand shows. Guys, here rugby's back.
Where'd it actually crush over there?
You'd love it.
It was never gone. Over here.
Yes, sorry.
Yes, I had to get a visa waiver because of...
The visa waiver's not someone's name.
Yeah, did you go to school with visa waiver?
Dude, I hear visa waiver's a bit loose. Don't let anyone in.
I had to get a waiver, visa.
Waiver type of visa. You're fucked. Sorry. Go on.
On character grounds.
On character grounds? Which character?
Because I'm a character.
Oh, that's nice.
But I'm not a good character to just easily enter a country. Because of the very real criminal record.
Yeah, I'm not convinced, but okay. Go on.
Well, neither were they, because they instantly approved my...
Yeah, we don't buy this for a second. Get in here.
He is a comedian.
Yeah.
So I had to provide some references and...
Who were your references? Because we weren't asked, I believe.
We weren't.
Yeah, to be character references.
No, well, I have one from someone that works in the Department of Justice.
That's good. That sounds like a good one.
Or community corrections, should I say, that has seen me be a good citizen and perform for the people that are incarcerated.
Hey, you took a photo with that guy after you were in the car accident? Good guy. Nice fella.
So that and Alias, my management submitted one, and I was going to get one from my book publisher, which we'll probably use for the US application, but that seemed to be enough. Between that and having like evidence of an actual tour, and then also paying, I think it's like $200. I think they must be like, oh, he's paying the money. He's
$200.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy.
yeah.
What,
So-
a drug dealer wouldn't have any cash lying around?
It said it might take up to 4 weeks to process the application. I'm like, oh, well, this could be a problem if it takes them 4 weeks because the tour's in 3. But they did it in like 48 hours. So now that really helps because I'm doing a bunch of media interviews tomorrow with New Zealand media outlets, and I was concerned that they might ask me about how I'm planning to get into the country or questions about that, which I wouldn't have very good answers to.
Yeah.
So now I do.
Now you're like, I've got the proper legal documentation.
I'm legit, baby.
Yeah. You're on breakfast radio. Like, when are you going to ask me about my visa? Surely that's going to come up soon, right? I brought the paperwork and everything.
So how have you got a visa? Play the clip.
So I got this media, I've got a publicist working on promoting it.
Yes.
He's also doing publicity for Metallica at the moment. And I was like, well, that's seems to be, you got both ends of the spectrum right there.
Yeah.
That's true.
Extremely famous and not
Metallica.
Well, and so anyway, let's see some people.
Metallica, heavy metal, Hammer, more classical.
The first place I'm going to is outside of Hamilton, which looks like it would be called Wata Wata.
Wata.
But it's not called Wata Wata.
What do you call it?
It's called Fota Fota.
How do you spell it?
Oh. Like,
What's what?
Like
A? What A?
like Dean Farre. WHARE.
Yes.
What?
Well, it's like, I think I guess it's Maori. WH is a F sound.
Is it?
Fota Fota.
Like-
so it bothers me because I'm going there on a Wednesday and I've been saying for weeks how exciting it's going to be to have a Wata Wata Wednesday.
Yeah.
But now I should be going to Fota Fota Friday.
Is it too late to change?
It's so good to know that he'll be saying that on stage in Fota Fota. And they'll be like, yeah, that was pretty good actually.
It's going to be a Fota Fota Wednesday. It just doesn't have the same ring to it.
It's got a Fota Fota Friday feel. Am I right, team? Play the song.
So
Wait, so
Can't wait to see Metallica on Monday. It's gonna be great.
the guy from Metallica doesn't do the research?
there is another one which Taranga is actually pronounced you got to have a
I think it's pronounced Taronga, dude.
Taronga.
There's a zoo there. It's the other side of the harbour.
No,
up there?
is there in New Zealand, brother?
Are we doing New Zealand stuff? Because I've been in New Zealand twice without a visa. I don't know whether I fucked it up or not. But
Why would you put that on record?
it's reciprocal visa. It's very hard to stop us entering New Zealand and them entering Australia. Like it is actually very difficult.
I wouldn't have applied. I think I would have assumed it's fine to just go over as a visitor if it wasn't for the fact that I failed their initial character tests,
There you go.
which were you ever sell drugs or like go to jail? And you're like,
How do you feel
Yeah,
about
brother.
Lord of the Rings? Yeah, I'm a fan. And The Hobbit, not that great. Denied. We love both of these. But wait, I'm still confused by the f, the w.
What is confusing about it?
So WH
it's f.
For
is f.
like,
So like
in Spanish, J is wa.
So like if you're like a Vietnamese in New Zealand, it'll just the store name would be W, like the dish would be WH.
Sure.
Pho. That was worth doubling back.
This is great.
It was really good
great
stuff.
What's that old video game I used to play called Age of Empires?
Yes.
And I'd play it with like people from other countries, and I always used to be so annoyed whenever like Spanish people would laugh in the chat. It'd be like, I'm like, shut up.
The Germans are more confused. They're like, what are they agreeing with?
Yes.
That is actually in my head how Spanish people talk sometimes. Yes. Can I get some jamon iberica? Yes. Absolutely,
Hammer's
dude.
like, it's Jamon. It's Jamon June. I came here specifically at this time.
So I'm going to be the canary in the coal mine, and I'm going to just go over there, kill it in New Zealand,
Kill it?
show you how it's done.
Are you going to go back? Oh, is it a Marai?
I've been on Marai.
Because do you remember you talked about this at length at the Flog Bowl episode, which will be edited any day now.
Any
for
day.
Sure. But I was listening back to it. You talked about going to Marai. Like the episode lasts 40 minutes. It's 20 minutes of you calling us gay, and then 20 minutes of you talking about going to a Marai.
That's quite a short period of me calling you guys gay. Only 20.
You're only calling us gay, so we would also get naked in the bed.
Yeah.
And then once we got naked, you're like, now the Mariah story. Speaking of things that happen undercover.
Well, I guess I don't need to speak about Mariah's if I've already covered
Well, it
it.
hasn't been released yet.
But it's on the Patreon only. The only way to get access to this hot, probably the worst episode we've ever done content
Yeah.
is to sign up to the Patreon.
I don't think this tour is so relentless. I don't think I'll have time to pop into a Mariah. But if a Mariah presents,
Then you need to be
oneself-
invited anyway. You can't just choose to go.
It's like a vampire.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you do need to be invited, but there probably are some channels where you could express interest in being invited. But I don't know if I'll have time. But it was a beautiful day.
Sorry, just New Zealand channels. When I was there, I thought this was crazy. One of the channels after 9 p.m, it's just a quiz. But like not like
The whole time?
Yeah.
The
For
whole
like
time?
Hours.
Wow.
But like not like someone hosting it. It's just the words on the screen as a question, then they change into the answer, and then it goes to the next question.
Wow. I could
hours.
I could see myself spending a lot of time on that channel.
Man, Steve and I on tour were just fucking constantly watching it.
Yeah.
And like, you know, some of the things like, what's this word, like, what's the Maori translation or whatever? And it's just like, man, were we out of our depth?
Yeah, okay. What do you were you getting competitive in the quiz? Are you
Yeah,
trying to get
absolutely.
the answer first, that sort of thing?
Absolutely. Yeah. And he was fucking good, actually.
I can see that.
I was impressed with Hofstadter's trivia skills.
I stopped listening at the start of this story. What was this?
It's so polite that you stopped at the start this time. Usually it's in the middle.
Yeah.
Hammer's like, anyway, so Hamon June. There's a TV channel in New Zealand which is like just trivia after a certain hour. They just don't fill it with anything.
But it's just educating you on Maori.
No, it's like everything. It's like general knowledge, but there's like New Zealand specific stuff.
Okay.
And it's just like
Do you reckon trivia hosts are just staying up late and taking notes?
just writing it all.
This is a good one.
Quick.
Then a guy's doing the quiz the next day. This feels so familiar. Don't know why. Why is there a guy here? Just interrupting the question. But yeah, I just find it funny because like there's some stuff in Australia, right, where it's just like programming will begin again at X.
Do you remember those late night trivia shows? They were a real big thing in the 2000s. The Big Brother cast used to host
Hot
them.
Dogs.
Hot
Hot
Dogs used
Dogs.
to host them. And you'd have to call up and it was like a paid hotline to call up and answer the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I mean, why can't we do that again? It seems like TV needs like cheap just stuff to fill the time. Like surely one of those, like if there
Yeah.
was one and it was like kind of hosted by someone, probably like Hammer to
I
be
would
honest.
absolutely
Yeah, it's
love to
exactly
do that
Hammer.
job. By the
Yeah.
way. I would do that for many hours. Just waffle on.
Just like, man, it's such late night hours. How's you staying up?
good to be back. And my
Someone
God,
calls
Daryl
up-
on the line.
Someone calls up to answer the question and you're like, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to that at all. What did you say?
Yeah.
What was the answer?
Hey, forget about that. I've got answers to questions I haven't asked yet. Would you like to invest in this business?
I wouldn't mind doing a hungy.
Oh, yeah.
Hungy. What is it? What is a hungy?
They cook food under the ground with it's a low heat, and they bury the food.
I was confusing the marae with the hungy. God damn it.
You mixed up your marais and your hungies?
Yeah, I did.
You can have a hungy in the marae, though.
Yeah, you'll
Sure.
know.
You can have a hungy and a marae.
You can have a hungy in the marae, I'd have thought.
That's good. What's a marae then? What have I been thinking of?
A marae is it's a traditional cultural ground of Maori people where they used to like bury their dead, and it's run by like elders and like people that will go out to the community that a lot of the time will then retrace their ancestry and end up going back to a marae, and it's just kind of these very would you say religious? No, I would say like deeply.
Okay, so Hammer doesn't know either. We've figured that much out.
They're cultural centres, right? They're cultural centres that are run by people that are connected to the local area.
It's like being on country in Australia.
So it's like a sacred site.
And you have to be invited on. And
Sacred site. That's what you were looking for with these last 100 words.
Sacred site. And you got to be invited on, and then you got to learn a bunch of Maori to speak to them about the reasons why you'd like to be invited on, and then they say hey, and then you go in, and then you
They say hey. That's crucial. You can't enter unless they say hey.
Yeah.
And then
Where did you learn that Maori from?
I remember something like ta'awa. I think it means like the water, maybe.
Yeah.
Or potentially tower.
Ta'awa.
Somebody inserting an extra syllable into tower.
Nah. Yeah, sacred
Do you know
site.
what happened to the twin towers? Tower 7. What happened to that? I don't know.
It is very cool to be there, though. We had some nice food, and
Great.
we checked out the site. Well, they had photos on the walls of like this area where they used to like put the dead, where they would just like be on bunk beds or like like tombs, I guess would be called bunk bed tombs
or tombs.
I mean, that's just a completely different game. Ever played bunk beds or tombs?
You ever played Bunk Bed Raider?
In prison, do you want the top or bottom tomb? Which is your tomb? Which is your favorite?
Bunk beds or tombs.
Anyway, I had a great time.
We went to go pay respect to the bunk beds.
Definitely recommend checking out a marae if you are so lucky.
This tomb is shaped like a race car.
Fucking
I went to this hostel. People having sex in the tombs. It's so weird. I actually had a good. I guess it's a segue stitch from New Zealand. On the weekend in Brisbane, I had a good old fashioned faux pas.
Oh, yeah?
Involving
or if you're listening in New Zealand, a wopa.
That's actually one of Sydney's biggest breakfast hosts. Fits in Wopa.
Took me straight from the hour.
So my faux pas, I was out having a drink after the show on the Saturday night, and we got recommended like this bar. It was like me and Tom Cashman, and we go out and we're trying to enter this bar. We couldn't figure out where the door was. And then we saw like, you know what I mean? It's like there was like a door, and a door, but it all seemed to be going to the same place, and none of them seemed to be open.
Okay.
So we're just like, how does this work? And then I saw a large Pacific Islander standing in front of one of the doors. So I was like, oh. And I went over and was like, hey man, can I come in? And he's like, oh yeah, the door's just over there. And I was like, oh, sick, thanks. And he was just an Islander.
Love it. So great. Does it work there?
You just assumed he was security
He
because
was
he's a big
wearing
islander.
black and standing near a door on a Saturday night. I'm sorry.
Was he talking to an earpiece?
Yeah.
No, he's just talking to a smaller Islander. And I was like, oh, one of his mates is hanging out with him at work. That's nice. But it's so funny. I don't know if he even realized what I had done.
It's like, obviously. Oh, okay.
Like-
I thought he was just come to expect it. Like when you look like me and you hang around a door, you pay a consequence.
Well, this is the thing. Like, you know, I think if you've got a certain kind of head and you're in a certain situation, then people are going to assume you work there.
Yeah.
Like when the baby was born and I was in the hospital with this head wearing scrubs, everyone was like, sorry, doctor, can I just...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm
Happened quite a few times.
Oh, I would have thought nurse.
But
Nah, dude, I'm way too condescending for that.
You could loiter out in front of pubs and no one was ever mistaking you for a bouncer.
Absolutely not. They're just like,
I
oh,
don't know,
that guy didn't get let in.
I don't know if you could. I don't think you could hang out outside a pub.
Absolutely. If I saw a guy who looked like Hamo wearing all black talking to a smaller version of him, I'd be like, hey, brother, can I get in?
Yeah.
It's just polite.
Yeah, and you're not paying attention. You're like, can I get in? He's like, yeah, just go in. You're like, 2 or 3. Just a couple.
Just a couple.
I've seen videos recently of guys, like just white dudes, I think, just wearing high vis, standing at the front of pubs and just checking people's IDs, just as like a prank video. And that seems to work as well.
Man, in the when we did our scav hunt, one of the tasks was like be a bouncer somewhere where there isn't usually a bouncer. We went to the 7-Eleven down the road from Town Hall Station in the city, and my friend like checked someone's bag, like a lady's handbag.
Yeah, right.
He was, I'm just going to have a look before you get in. We've just had some issues recently. And she was like, oh, not a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
And no high vis. He was just standing there.
Yeah.
That's even better.
You ever heard that story about Anthony Skinner snuck into a Miley Cyrus concert just with high vis before? Like in the late 2010s?
Oh, I do vaguely recall this story.
Sydney comedy, stand-up Sydney.
Yeah.
CEO, Anthony Skinner.
CEO.
Mogul? Yeah. So what, he snuck into a Miley Cyrus concert, just put high vis on.
And like Kudos Bank Arena, I think he went with like a high vis and held like a broom and just kind of walked through.
Well, that's another thing, right? The ladder principle. Because I mean, I think because we go through the back of pubs all the time, like if you just look like you know where you're going, very rarely will anyone
100%.
Like you don't even need anything.
Yeah.
You're just like in. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that guy needed to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So what's that George Costanza thing? Like if you look like cross, no, people always assume you're busy.
Oh yeah, you just have to look angry. Is that Costanza? Oh, I know the bit though.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. If you walk around with purpose, you don't even have to have high vis. People are generally stupid.
Someone at work said the other day we were talking about self-checkouts at Woolies, and I don't know if you've noticed this now. The self-checkout at Woolies, you can't do the brown onions thing because the camera now analyzes whatever fruit you put on the scale and tells you what it is.
Correct.
And so I like, which blew my mind. And then I was talking to someone at work, like, it was so good that she put on a red apple, and there was like a cheaper red apple, and then there was like the red gala that was more expensive, whatever. And she put it through the cheaper one. And then one of the staff went, that's not that apple, that's the other apple. Can you please change? Like called her out on it. I'm like, I never knew that happened.
What kind of person working at Woolies, like watching these machines,
does anything?
get smarter than them by the fucking day?
I know.
Is then like, hey brother, charge the correct thing. I'm going to get fired in 3 months.
Yeah. I'm not going to let you make a fool of the machine.
Yeah.
That's my co-worker.
That's my boss. Don't treat my boss like that. He took me out for pizza last week. The machine's like analyzing, being like, would you like Hawaiian? Then analyzing you, being like, wait a second, you're vegetarian. The margarita's over there. Yeah. Because I gotta say, like, if a supermarket doesn't have like any people working the checkout, I will probably stop going there.
Oh, really?
Like I always go to the person at the checkout whenever they're available, even if it's for like nothing, because I'm like, this is fucked.
Yeah.
Like this is not a good thing. Like we are giving up so much for momentary convenience.
So you don't go to the self-checkout? You go to the ever?
Like
Really?
if there's an option, I will never go to the self-checkout.
Wow.
That's not really what
I'm like, I don't fucking need to do this. Pay someone to do this.
But isn't it faster? Just
Barely.
Yeah.
But like, who cares? Like, pay someone to do the fucking job. Like, I mean, it's not going to help, obviously, but you know.
That's not where I draw the line with being concerned about automation.
Please, what do you got?
Well, I just think
Hamo, first they came for the checkout people, and we said nothing. Then they came for the Uber drivers, and we said nothing because the preference was no conversation. They came for your local neighborhood drug dealer.
that's
and he said nothing because it's an illegal practice, and if he spoke up, he'd probably get in trouble.
Yeah. Have you ever tried putting your cocaine through as ketamine?
AI is nowhere near having the customer service that I was bringing to the table, so I think that job.
Yeah, but that little AI scanner being like, Hamo looks like a 0.7, brother.
Yeah,
what happened here? Dimitri, don't do me like that.
Don't use my bits.
What are you going to do about
it? There was a news story recently of like an AI that was a radio host.
Yes, I heard about this.
That's more concerning, I think, than like me having to check out my own groceries.
Well, the concern is no one noticed. Didn't they run it for like a month? And they're like, by the way, you've been listening to a robot this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, has there ever been a radio host?
Who wasn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, Kyle and Jackie O, I'm unconvinced.
Yeah.
Are they still around? Did they die years ago? And they've been replaced by Kyle Bot and Jackie O Bot.
Yeah.
Jackie
You'd say
Bono.
it. Yeah. I don't think you could replace Hamish, but you might be able to replace Andy.
That's so
Chat GP Lee.
Chat GP Lee. Oh, that's good. That's nice. That is very nice. Breakfast, like radio is very robotic though.
Yeah.
I feel like the chats I've had with checkout people are significantly wilder than most talkback that I've heard in Australia.
Yeah. Okay. What? Any examples come to mind?
Nothing springs to mind.
You're not asking if you scrunch or fold the checkout?
No. Call in now. Scrunch or fold. The scrunchiest or the foldiest caller will win tickets to the Legends Lounge at the Waratahs game this weekend. Rugby's back.
Sound of a can opening. Rugby's back.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, breakfast radio, it is oddly robotic now that I think about it. It's all just kind of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think you could program like an AI person to be what you need. In Big Laugh Lady, laconic deep voiced man,
Yep.
and keep it moving guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Which are we? You're the keep it moving guy.
Keep it moving guy. Enthusiastic lady.
Damn.
Deep
definitely
voiced laconic guy.
I'm not laconic deep voiced man, unfortunately.
Good to be here.
So Brownie, what'd you get up to the weekend, brother? Why?
What's this?
I don't
We got a
know.
delivery. We got a package.
All right.
Get ready.
What's that package?
Get ready for open that box.
Dining table. What? You're delivering the dining table. Okay. You're taking the old one away? You're pulled out upstairs, but you're delivering the dining table.
All right, this is exciting
Got
stuff.
to get
here,
Dan on
floggers.
mic for this.
We have Dan Muggleton discussing the delivery of a dining table.
Alright, I gotta calm down.
All right.
Should we wrap it up? We'll wrap it up while you. We're gonna wrap it up while you sort out a dining. So Dan has had a delivery, and we've hit
Quite
the
hilarious.
hour mark.
Dan has a delivery of a dining table that he didn't seem to be expecting.
And apparently the delivery guy isn't going to bring it upstairs, and Dan can't bring a table upstairs.
Stay tuned for next week. The Flog Cabin. We'll find out more about
Listen
the
to the-
dining table dramas.
Yeah, you can sign up for the Patreon for the stunning reveal of the new dining table. Definitely worth $12.
DTD.
All right.
Dining table dramas.
All right, I guess we'll wrap it up. What do we say at the end? So were you going to say something?
Oh, no. So what about I say stay flogged up. I'll do Dan's part. You
Yeah.
say check the dodgems.
Yeah.
Then I'll say goodbye.
Okay, all right.
Stay flogged up.
Check the dodgems.
Bye.
We don't need Dan at all.